Hello, my little dreamers, and welcome to tonight's story. Milo the Mouse and the Moonlight Bell. Milo was a tiny mouse with soft grey fur and ears as round as buttons. He lived in a teacup at the back of an old bakery, nestled in a quiet corner where the smell of cinnamon and warm bread always lingered. Milo loved the night time most of all, when the bakery lights went out and the stars blinked awake. He would tiptoe through the flowery shelves, listening to the peaceful hush of the sleeping world. But on one special night, just as the clock chimed 9, Milo heard something he'd never heard before. A gentle ringing sound, like a bell made of starlight. Curious, Milo followed the sound through a tiny crack in the wall and into the garden beyond. There, bathed in silver moonlight, stood a single tall flower, its petals shaped like a bell, gently swaying in the breeze. Milo sat quietly beside it, his paws tucked under him, and listened. He didn't know what the moonlight bell was saying, but somehow it made his heart feel still and happy. He yawned a great mousy yawn, curled up under the bellflower, and closed his eyes. The bell chimed on, soft and slow, and Milo dreamed of floating on clouds made of sugar, sailing across the sky in a teacup boat, and ringing bells made of stars. Good night, Milo. Good night, little dreamer. Welcome, little dreamers. It's time to get comfy. Close your eyes and let the day begin to slow down. Take a big, deep breath in and out. Tonight's story is about a very gentle little sloth named Sydney, who reminds us how peaceful and magical slow moments can be. Let's begin. In the soft green treetops of a quiet rainforest, where the leaves swayed like lullabies, and the breeze smelled of warm rain and wild flowers, lived a little sloth named Sydney. Sydney had the softest fur, the sweetest yawn, and the slowest, dreamiest way of moving. She didn't mind being slow. In fact, she loved it. Because when you move slowly, you see more magic. Each day, Sydney climbed gently through the trees, pausing to feel the sun on her fur or listen to the hush of the wind in the branches. She liked to nap on mossy branches, curled up like a comma, rocking ever so slightly with the trees. But at night, nighttime was her favourite. As the stars blinked open in the sky, Sydney would find her favourite branch, wide, soft, and cradled by leaves, and slowly, sleepily settle in. She'd take a big breath in through her nose, then let it out in the quietest sigh. Above her, the moon painted silver patterns on the leaves. Fireflies twirled lazily in the air like glowing little dancers, and somewhere far off, a stream whispered sleepy secrets to the stones. Sydney closed her eyes and imagined herself floating, slowly, on a fluffy cloud made of leaves. She imagined stardust tickling her nose and moonbeams warming her toes. And as the rainforest sang its soft, steady song, Sydney drifted deeper and deeper into the calmest, coziest sleep. Because sometimes Slow and gentle is just right. And tonight, Sydney was exactly where she belonged. Now, little one, it's your turn. Let your body rest, your breath slow down, and your mind float gently, just like Sydney, rocking softly in the trees. You are safe, you are calm, and you are already drifting into a beautiful sleep. Good night. Welcome to Tucked In, Sleepy Stories for Kids, a podcast full of gentle, original bedtime stories to help little ones slow down, feel safe, and drift peacefully to sleep. Tonight's story is about a little otter named Ella, who's had a big, exciting day and finds it a little tricky to settle down for bed. But with the help of the cool evening air, the river's quiet music, and some soft, mindful breathing, Ella learns how to relax her body and her busy thoughts. So snuggle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin. In a quiet riverbank, tucked between smooth stones and soft reeds, lived a little otter named Ella. Ella was full of bounce and curiosity. All day long she slid through the water, chased dragonflies, tumbled with her otter friends, and floated on her back while giggling at the clouds. She loved to move, she loved to explore. But when the sky turned pink and bedtime came, her body was still wiggly and her mind felt full. "I don't feel sleepy," Ella whispered, curling up beside her favourite rock. Mama Otter padded gently over and gave Ella's nose a soft nuzzle. "That's okay," Mama said. "Let's slow down together." She helped Ella float on her back, the way otters do, paws resting on her tummy, nose pointed towards the stars. The water was cool and calm. The evening air drifted over the river, soft and quiet like a whisper. "Can you feel the air?" Mama asked. Ella nodded. It smelled like damp leaves, sweet flowers, and river stones. It moved gently across her fur, brushing her face like a lullaby. "Let's breathe with the air," Mama said. "In, 1, 2, 3. Out, 1, 2, 3. Ella's paws relaxed. Her tail stopped swishing. Her thoughts began to slow, floating gently like lily pads. Above her, stars began to blink awake. A heron glided silently across the sky. The trees swayed softly on the riverbank. Ella listened. The river gurgled in slow bubbles. The reeds rustled like soft grasshoppers whispering goodnight. And the air wrapped around her like a warm, quiet hug. She yawned. "I think I'm ready now," she whispered to the stars. Mama smiled and held her close as they floated together, still, quiet, and safe. "And now, little one, let your breath slow like the river. Let your body float still like Ella. And let your thoughts gently drift away like lily pads on the water." Thank you for listening to Tucked In. If you enjoyed this sleepy story, please follow or subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also leave a kind review, share it with a friend, or drop a comment to let us know how bedtime feels in your home. Every little bit helps more children find calm and comfort at the end of their day. Sleep well. Sleep soft. Good night, Ella. Good night, everyone. Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tucked In. Tonight's story is Fern the Fox Paints the Sky. Fern was a quiet fox with a big imagination and a small paintbrush she carried everywhere. Every evening, while the rest of the forest got sleepy, Fern tiptoed up her favourite hill with her little wooden palette. No one really knew who painted the sunsets. Some said it was the wind, some said it was magic, but Fern knew the truth. It was her. She dipped her brush into the colours of the day, a little orange, a bit of pink, and just a splash of sleepy purple. And with slow, gentle strokes, she painted across the sky, one layer at a time, until the sun waved goodnight, and the stars started to blink. As she cleaned her brush and packed up her paints, Fern whispered softly into the wind, "Good night, world. Sleep tight." And she trotted home beneath the sky she had made. Good night. Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tucked In. Tonight's story is Hazel the Hedgehog and the Rainy Day Smile. Hazel was a tiny hedgehog who lived under a big orange mushroom at the edge of a whispering forest. She loved rainy days because that's when the world felt soft and slow. One afternoon, when the rain began to patter, Hazel found herself a bit lonely. The birds had flown off to hide, and the forest was quiet. So she did something she'd never done before. She closed her eyes, breathed in the smell of wet leaves, and smiled. A big, gentle smile. And something magical happened. The rain slowed, a small bird peeked out from a bush, and a snail nudged Hazel's paw. "Is this a smile party?" the snail asked. Hazel giggled. "I think it might be." And under that mushroom, in the rainy stillness, a tiny hedgehog, a snail, and a bird sat in the quietest, cosiest smile party there ever was. Good night. Welcome to Tucked In, Sleepy Stories for Kids, a podcast full of gentle, soothing bedtime tales to help little ones relax and feel safe at the end of the day. Tonight, we meet Willa, a curious little fawn who wakes up to the very first signs of summer. Warm breezes, blooming meadows, and golden sunlight. But even the brightest days need soft, quiet endings. So snuggle in close, let your thoughts slow down, and let's begin. Willa was a young fawn with big gentle eyes and speckled fur like dappled sunlight. She lived at the edge of a quiet meadow where the trees whispered and the grass always felt cool beneath her hooves. One morning, she woke to a feeling in the air, something new. The wind was warm, the sky was bright, and the birds sang songs that sounded like, "Summer's here, summer's here." Willa pranced through the meadow, sniffing blossoms and chasing butterflies. She dipped her hooves in the stream and nibbled clover in the sunshine. Everything felt golden and fresh, and her heart felt full. That night, tucked beneath a soft bed of leaves, Willa's eyes were wide open. Not because she was scared, but because her day had been so full of sunshine and joy. "It's hard to sleep when the world feels so bright," she whispered. Her mama smiled and nestled beside her. "I know," she said softly, "but summer doesn't have to rush. It will be here in the morning, and the morning after that. Right now, we can rest." Willa closed her eyes. She imagined the warm breeze brushing over her fur. She thought of the gentle stream, the fluttering bees, and the first soft strawberry she'd tasted that day. She didn't have to chase the joy. She could let it settle inside her. And as the moonlight shimmered through the tall grass, Willa sighed a happy little sigh and let her body melt into the quiet of the night. And now, little one, let your body be still, like Willa resting in the tall grass. Let the warmth of the day settle gently inside you, and know that all the summer joy will be waiting for you again tomorrow. If you enjoyed tonight's story, be sure to follow Tucked In, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also leave a kind review, share it with a friend, or even support the show on Buy Me a Coffee. Every little bit helps keep these stories soft, safe, and free for everyone. Sleep well, sleep soft, and we'll see you again next time.